We're back. Let's get down to business. Not to defeat the Huns like Mulan though. Alrighty, Huns came through. So, with brutally destroying that joke, let's get our final 26 Pokemon down. Here we are. I'll clean it up quick as best I possibly can. I'm just doing this more for Pokemon I like. I like Wartortle a lot, but I think these are some very different Pokemon. I like all these. I don't hate the order that they're in. However, I really like Seadra. I'll put Seadra all the way there. Victory Bell. I kind of just dig Victory Bell's vibe. Do that. Go from there. Actually, I might like Cadaver more. Really strange. We're going through. We're just cleaning stuff up right now. I like Jigglypuff less than more so now getting the stuff I like more where it belongs. Interesting. Didn't I? Some of these I'm shocking myself with. Like Raichu though. There is some design elements in here. It's not just personal preference though. Alrighty, here, kind of there. Just really like Muck. I think Muck's great. Ghastly up here. And Cloyster up here as well. I just like these purple Pokemon. That's pretty cool. I do like Golduck. I think I'll stop screwing around with this. However, I do like Starmie. Put more there. That'll be fair. Put Charmander back here. I don't hate Charmander though. Also trying. You have music playing. When you stop talking, it cuts the mic off, so it sounds like the music is just cutting in and out and skipping. I do have music playing. I'm sorry that is happening. Not inherently bad, but it makes it sound like you're having connection problems, even though you're not. Okay, that's fair. Thank you for the note. I appreciate that for future notice. It's not loud enough to register with the mic, but it's loud enough to register sometimes, apparently. Okay. B tier, it's such a mess. I don't even want to touch. Here we go. All right, so we're down to our final 26 Pokemon. Magmar. Magmar is actually a. I'll put Magmar at a B minus. I like a lot of elements of Magmar, and then I hate a lot of Eggman. Magmar is a literal butthead, and that I hate. It looks like something stupid out of The Simpsons. I don't like the nods of fire in it. I love these armored sleeves. It's based off of a Kappa, which is a Japanese demon, which is really cool. I just don't like the execution of it. It's just odd shaping. I like the legs, even like the bulbous kneecap style leg joint. That's kind of cool. I love these sleeved arms with the claws. That's all cool. I just don't like the butt head and the face. I think it could all be done in a better way. But Magmar's a B minus for me. I like it more though. Pinsir, same deal. Cool Pokemon, has some problems. Mine being these weird little tendril face things. That doesn't make sense to me. It's an odd Pinsir beetle type thing that's really cool. I think it needs more color contrast. It's helped out a lot by its Mega Evolution, in my opinion. Although the eyes are a little off-putting in that one. But it needs more color contrast to go from a B minus up to or A possibly. Tauros is just it's just like it's a bull with whipping tails. And again, it's just such he's looking at let's just scroll through. Like I'm just looking basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, I'm gonna count that one. 23 and 24. This weird obsession with the browns, the brown tones. A lot of like 24 different Pokemon with a similar color palette. It's not great out of 150. Now I get it. It's limited because of Gen 1's capabilities at the time, but just we've redone them throughout the time. Let's get a little bit more pop of color there. Again, it's just like it's a bull with spinning tails. I don't. If you like bulls, cool. If you don't like bulls, it's just kind of mid Pokemon. So I'd be B minus, and just for what it is, I think it's a B minus. I like Tauros even, but just a bull. Magikarp. Magikarp is an S tier Pokemon. I like Magikarp. I love the crown. I love the whiskers. I love the fins. And I love the storytelling elements. And I like the line work to imply the scales here. It's really fun on those notes. Magikarp is an underappreciated Pokemon, but the journey of the in-game mechanic of going from literal trash to one of the most revered Pokemon is very interesting. And I really appreciate that from Magikarp to Gyarados. I think this is a nice color palette of the bright orange and the bright yellow versus a lot of these muted yellow-brown combinations that just kind of don't work as well with every Pokemon. So I really like Magikarp, and that pop of white on the fins. Gyarados again. It's a really good Pokemon. I don't like it as an S tier, but I'll have it as a high A plus tier. I'm just looking at Pokemon I like more than that. I like Gyarados. I wish it kept more orange notes a little bit here. Just some accents of orange would be very cool. The blue is almost like off-putting, how you go from like this bright orange to this like royaler aqua blue. But such a unique, fun, based off of Eastern style dragons. Very cool. It's called the atrocious Pokemon for a reason. It looks atrocious in all the right ways. Great Pokemon all around. Is it probably a little overrated? Probably. But Gyarados is popular for a reason, just like Charizard, because there is some really good design elements to it. And I personally like Gyarados. It's just not my favorite Pokemon. But A+ Pokemon nonetheless. Lapras. A Plesiosaur, very cool. I like Lapras. I don't know if I like Lapras as much as other people do. This is where we'll go personal bias and just clean some stuff up. I think, for me personally, Kingler's an A, Muck is an A, and Gastly's an A. I'm just kind of redoing things on the fly, and Cloyster's an A as well. I like all these Pokemon. I like them more than Lapras, but I like Lapras, and I think Lapras is an A-style, A-tier Pokemon. I do like the color contrast. I like the armored shell look on the back. And I like the swirled ears. It's just friendly and kind, which is one of the appealing parts about Lapras for a lot of people. So I like Lapras. Lapras is fun. So with all that being said, though, A tier. It's not as high for me as others, but I like Lapras. A very friendly environment. Ditto. So Ditto, just for the concept, will go in the B tier, even though I'm not like crazy about Ditto. But again, it's kind of like the Voltorb thing. It's a amorphous blob of pink goo, but the metamorphosis transformation being able to apply to every Pokemon, it makes sense that it would be this amorphous pile of goo. But again, on its own merits, just for the design, not very high, but the game mechanic higher. Ditto's a B tier Pokemon. Eevee, I don't want to get punched by my wife when she eventually sees this. S+ tier Pokemon. Cute, it's adorable. I always bring this up. I love that it's the evolution Pokemon and all the possibilities for it. It's an adorable, beautiful Pokemon on its own. But I love how the tail looks like a paintbrush to imply the idea of creation. At least that's how I interpret it. And unlimited possibilities through artistic interpretation with Eevee is great for a Pokemon with all these different iterations of Eevee. So creation can take you in all these different ways. I think that's honestly one of the one of the best, if not the best, concept for Pokemon the entire franchise has ever done. So I gotta say, Eevee's high on that list, and S plus because of that note. Eevee's just a great Pokemon, and shout out to my wife Ab because it's her favorite Pokemon as well. Vaporeon, I'm a big Vaporeon fan actually, to the point where I'll put it up in the S category. I love the scaled tail, the mermaid tail. That's beautiful. I love the collar and the finned ears. Just such a unique and fun design. I love Vaporeon's vibe, and a very interesting, cool one at that. I just keep it up because I like it more. Vaporeon is such a great Pokemon. Great coloration, great color contrasting, but hits the water vibe perfectly in all these unique ways. Love Vaporeon. Vaporeon is a phenomenal Pokemon. Jolteon. Jolteon's a good Pokemon, but not a tremendous Pokemon. Where did my Jolteon go? It's not a C minus. I've come to enjoy Jolteon a hair bit more over time than I used to, but Jolteon's still a B for me. I like all the spikes looking almost pin-like to incorporate the idea of electricity without all lightning bolt. It looks more static energy-esque. And I like those side pieces that flare out more like traditional would do. And I really like the ear choices. I just wish it had. Vaporeon has a lot more contrasting detail to make it better, where Jolteon's kind of just, it spikes. Which is why younger kids, specifically younger boys, love Jolteon. Like, it's spiky. But Vaporeon has so many more wonderful design notes that I think are really impressive for what we're doing here. Why Vaporeon would be an S and Jolteon would be a B. Flareon, Flareon, I'm not a huge fan of. Flareon will be a B tier Pokemon. I'm not a huge Flareon fan. I think that it's of all the ways to show fire, like Eevee, you can get away with doing the evolutions. You can get away with doing a little bit more on the nose designs, and make them elegant. And this was just kind of like it turned orange and got fluffier. And that's all that really happened with Flareon, and that's why I'm not crazy about Flareon. Which is why actually I'm going to bring Flareon down to a B minus. And I think design-wise I like it less than Magmar, but I like Flareon as a Pokemon more than I like Magmar, which is why I'm toying with the rankings. But yeah, my gosh, Flareon's just not that unique or fun of a Pokemon. Porygon. Porygon's a fun Pokemon. I'm going to put it at the B plus for the concept. And while I'm here, I'm also Shelder up because I love Shelder. I love this polygonal, very hard-edged Pokemon stuck with all these very rounded Pokemon. It's a very fun, unique way to handle things. And I appreciate that. And I love the primary color usage again. It's a great way to contrast, and if you're going to have a computer AI generated Pokemon, it makes sense that it go primary, colors and do things of that nature and make it more prism-like. A very fun, unique way to handle that idea with Porygon. So Porygon's a B plus Pokemon. Home stretch. One row left to go. And for those still in stream, thank you for powering through with me. Love to get a little jolt of energy as I'm about to answer that question of yours as well. All right, we're gonna go Omanite. I really like Omanite. I love the little mollusk mustache. That's such a fun, unique design, and I love the swirling tail and the segmentation of the line work of the mollusk-like tail. Do me fossil boy. That's a Helix fossil though. But I like Omanite a lot. Omanite's a B plus Pokemon. I like Omanite quite a bit, actually. Now I'm seeing why I had these as pluses, but I love the design work, which is why they were higher during the beginning parts of our stream. Same deal. I like Abra, but there. Bring these boys back here. Wow. I didn't think Butterfree was going to drop that much, but I had to do it. But yeah, I just love the fun. It just Omanite looks fun. It looks so adorable and cute. I love Omanite. Whereas Omastar, more Star of the Conqueror vibes. It is a unique, cool Pokemon. I just don't like it nearly as much as I like. I do like the Spike Centurion style helmet look. That is cool. Very Roman-esque pauldron. I like that. I don't like the eyes. I don't like the mouth though. And the tentacles make it weird. It goes from this little cutesy mustache looking mollusk to like weird alien like vibe, which I understand for some of the, ocean creatures that Omanite would be based off of, or Omastar would be based off of. Just, I'm not an Omastar guy, and I love Omanite a lot. So that's why I have Omastar as a B. Kabuto. I like Kabuto. Kabuto will be in this kind of range of our B territory. Here it is. I like Kabuto from the red glowing eyes, but it's got these beady eyes on the top. Very interesting way to show the color contrast, but the character contrast as well. Good, obvious dome fossil reference there. Why it would be called the dome fossil. The dome shaped at the back is cool. Again, these brown tones, but at least it's a fossil Pokemon, so I can kind of get behind it and go through it and be done with it. So that's very cool. 5, 6, 7, 11. I have 11 more Pokemon. We've got through 140. I'm going to take one quick break because my eyes are freaking out on me. And I will be right back. We're back! We got 10 left. Let's power through. Hit that chat feature. Let's power through. As we're going forth, I have 10 Pokemon left, or 11 Pokemon left. Last 11. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. Yep, 11 Pokemon. Alright, Kabutops. Just need that one little extra bit of help. I really like Kabutops. I'm going to put Kabutops all the way up here. I'm going to split these two guys. Do it that way. So this is where inherently it's been 3 hours, so not the most surprising. Yeah, exactly. Is your throat drying out? No, that too. My throat is drying out a little bit. This actually is taking longer than the last time I did it, which is crazy because I feel like I've been keeping pace a lot more. But the breaks, I think, have helped and other things as well. It's just I also had some personal business to attend to on the phone lines that I had to hit up. So I had to take care of that one. But alas, 3 hours into this stream, we have 10 Pokemon left. I like Kabutops, love the sickle arms. It looks like a weird fossil brought back to life as this weaponized Pokemon. I really enjoy that vibe. I like that as a Stingray vibe, even though that's not the true inspiration. I like the clawed feet. I like the armored look, very fossil-like. I always like Kabutops. I wish I got an Omanite like Kabuto or a Kabutops level evolution, because I like Omanite more than I like Kabuto, but I like Kabutops way more than I like Omastar. Same, and so I'd say that's why I'm always doing the things I do in Gen 1, always picking Dome Fossil over Helix. Alrighty, Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl's a good Pokemon. I think it's a slightly overrated Pokemon sometimes, but I like it. I'll put it up here in the B+ category. Fun Pokemon, interesting, needs more color contrast for me. It doesn't look fossil-like, even though it's supposed to be fossil-like with a pterodactyl. So I would like some more color contrast to it. But I love the spiked devil-like tail. And I do like the bat-like wings. And I love that jaw. That jaw just looks like a vicious dinosaur-looking thing. That is cool. I just wish there was some more color contrast with Aerodactyl. That seems to be my biggest critique with a lot of these Pokemon, is the color contrast or the color palette choices. But I like Aerodactyl. It's a fun in-game use. Good times with Aerodactyl, B+. Snorlax there. Let's just take it where it belongs. um, Snorlax is dope. Snorlax is the boy. Um, you know, Snorlax is the definition of we them boys. Like, I love how rotund and big Snorlax is. I love the idea that it eats almost a ton of food every single day. It's just like this enormous creature. And I do love the storytelling elements that it took almost 20 years for Snorlax to set up through sprite artwork. Someone, if you have never seen that online, look it up. It's very cool and interesting that it took 20 years to get Snorlax sitting upright. Snorlax is just such a fun, interesting boy. Love Snorlax. Just look at him. Adorable, cute, but he's a big boy. I love Snorlax is great. Articuno. Like Articuno, but it's not a great Pokemon. I'm gonna put Articuno in the honestly in the B category. Yeah, I think that's where I'd put Articuno. I don't get ice from it. I just get blue, kind of majestic-ish bird. The tail is kind of majestic, but the rest of the design isn't cool. Isn't that great? It's a fine, fun design, but I don't get ice from it at all. And since it's the ice type, and it's kind of like the ice type of the game, I wish it gave more than that. So I'm going to go Articuno is a solid B, but nothing that special. Zapdos is by far design-wise the best of the three legendary birds. Zapdos will go up in the A. Actually, I'm going to put it in the A plus category up here. I like Zapdos quite a bit. The spiked angular wings is so much different than all of these other Pokemon designs from the bird perspective, and there's a lot of birds in this generation, or a lot of flying-esque winged Pokemon. Just, it hits Lightning Thunderbird so well, and that very long, elongated beak is great. Could it use a little bit more color contrast? Sure. But all three of the legendary birds could use some more color contrast. But Zapdos clearly hits its typing while it feels like this enormous, powerful thing. And that's important for a legendary Pokemon. It feels like this enormous, legendary thing. I like that about Zapdos, so Zapdos is an A+. And Moltres, I think Moltres gets a little too much hate, personally. I like Moltres, but I'm also a big fan of the idea of a Phoenix. I'll put Moltres at the B. I'll put it in between these guys. I like Moltres, but it's literally just a bird on fire, and the bird being yellow, the fire was enough. The Galarian Moltres is great because the color contrast of the black and that pinkish red flame color. That's enough to take it over the top and be what the original Moltres was. I don't understand why they went with this pale yellow color. I don't know what their obsession with this color was, because they use it in so many Pokemon where they don't have a lot of usage of red, except like Jinx or Spearow's wing. Like, just look at it. Red is not used as a primary color a lot, and I think that would have helped a lot with Moltres' design to distinguish it. It kind of just flies by the wayside, but Firebird, it is fun and unique and interesting. It does have a little bit of majesty to it. Moltres is a solid B again. Dratini. I like Dratini. I'm going to put Dratini up in the B plus category, mostly because it's adorable. I like Dratini a lot. And it's a perfect little best friend dragon. Again, it hits the friend category a lot. Each Pokemon design is supposed to be able to convince you that it could be your friend. Dratini could be your friend. And I like that. And it doesn't like hit you over the head with dramatic dragon, but it still has enough to be like, oh yeah, it's a dragon, obviously. So I really like that, and I like that pale blue color with the white. Very interesting. Nice job with that. Dragonair. I am an enormous fan of Dragonair. Dragonair is an S plus category for me. I'm a huge Dragonair fan. Dragonair I adore because that is what I feel is the most majestic dragon type for a long time in the franchise. winged ears, the jewel of the neck, the serpentine-like body. These were all tremendous ways to go, and a little bit of the horn giving a little bit more of that dragon, and that subtle reddish color vibe of the eye is there. So the color contrast is there. I just love that design. It's such a wonderful, wonderful design and a great play. It looks like a far more majestic, powerful creature than Dratini, but still keeps all the beauty and wonder that Dratini has. S plus, chef's kiss. Love Dragonair. Dragonair is a phenomenal, phenomenal Pokemon. And then there's Dragonite. I'm about to make some people mad. I'm going to put it in a mid B because I like it more than others. I don't know if I even like it as a mid B, though, for what it is. Sure. Middle B territory. It takes all the positives from Dragonair away, and you just get this big, fun, goofy, dumb dragon that looks like it's straight off the Magic School Bus. And I don't like it. I think there was a lot of different ways they could have went to get to Dragonite that could have incorporated its color scheme and the design notes of Dragonite way better and keep Dragonair and Dratini off by themselves. And or even a different color palette for Dragonite would have been fine if they would have kept more of those blue hues. Maybe that could have helped too. It's also got an ugly shiny. I don't like Dragonite shiny either. Dragonite's just not meh. It's just meh. It's one of those that like I can't justify it being lower than this, but if it was personally off of just my feelings, like I might have it lower. But then I'd have a lot of these Pokemon just solely based off of my feelings lower, right? Probably. Finally, Mewtwo. Mewtwo's an S. That's obvious. I'm a big Mewtwo fan. I love Mewtwo's interpretation on the Pokemon Adventures manga series. I always plug it, but it's great. Mewtwo is best represented in that manga series. Adore that part of Mewtwo. I just love how it looks somewhat alien. It looks created by science. That's tremendous. I love the tail of the note there. You know, the little bulbous fingers work because it's more alien-like, and that works for Mewtwo. It doesn't work for other Pokemon. Mewtwo is an S tier Pokemon. What a great Pokemon. What a just tremendously... And it looks powerful. It looks fiendish. I love Mewtwo. And finally, our final Pokemon of the night. And then I'll be able to answer that 10-minute question from my friend about what Pokemon would I cut. Mew again is an S tier Pokemon. I adore Mew. I like Mew even more than I like Mewtwo. I think I like more than him. Yeah, I think that's fair. What I find most endearing about Mew is it's got more of that bubblegum pink color, so it's got more of that endearable traits that like Clary has and Slowpoke has and Jigglypuff has. But design-wise, I adore the helix shape of the tail. I think that's a really, really smart choice. Mostly because if it's truly the source DNA for all these other Pokemon, it's logical that there'd be a helix design to it because of the double helix shape of DNA. So I love that helix shape that Mew's tail has. And also shows a playfulness and a mischievous nature that Mew has. Very, very fun. And it has uniting shapes with Mewtwo, but it's still its own thing. So you can see where one was kind of warped by science and one was just the beauty and wonderful being of nature. So I really like Mew's concept and the execution of both those Pokemon together. Tremendous pairing. Love Mew. Mew is an S tier Pokemon. But that, my friends, is all of our Pokemon from Gen 1 ranked. Woo! Ranked. So in review, we've got 2 F tier, Jinx and Mr. Mime, the worst of the generation, in my opinion. We got 3 D tier, Weepinbell, Eradicate, and Paris. We have our C- tier of Weedle, Ekans, and Golbat. Mew a baby. Mew is a baby, and I love it. Our C tier, Marowak, Arbok, Electrode, Rattata, Dugtrio, Meowth, Lickitung, Spearow, Jigglypuff, and Parasect. Now we're getting into the territory where I cannot name all these because it'll add another hour to my stream. Alrighty though. B minus category, 11 in there. I think they all kind of speak for themselves to a degree. They're all kind of but they're not C tier level meh. B tier by far the most. It's kind of, that's where I find most. I'm generally positive on Pokemon, but that's kind of like our mid-range Pokemon there. We have 36, 41 Pokemon together in the B. Almost a third of the entire generation, I would say, is a positive middle tier. That's pretty good for the generation design elements. Right here, we got ourselves 18 B plus Pokemon, highlighted, I think, by Starmie, probably, personally. Starmie and a lot of people would say Charmander need to be higher, but I would disagree with that. Obviously, because that's how I did it. 21 A Pokemon. That's pretty crazy. And we have A tier with 21 Pokemon. Just a lot of fun Pokemon here. A plus category 13. 13 for S, which says a lot. And we have 9 S plus tier Pokemon. That is insane. Insane. I love that for this franchise.